Hello, this is Angela, and welcome to my channel. Please be sure to subscribe, click the like button, and hit the notifications bell so that you will know whenever I upload new content. So let's just go ahead and get into this. At least a few days ago, I heard the news about Atlanta rapper Trouble, whose real name is Mariel Samante Orr, was deleted from the planet by the ex-boyfriend of the woman he was visiting in the early morning hour at the time. Okay, I'm not so sure if they were in a relationship or not, but at any rate, my condolences to his family, his friends, and the loved ones, especially his children that he left behind. But listen, I knew that this summer would be extra hot considering the paradigm shift that is happening in the Black community. A lot of Black males think like Jamonte Jones. Jamonte Jones was the one who took Trouble off the planet. You know, people like Jamonte Jones think that he can treat a Black woman any kind of way, beat on her, cheat on her, toss her out, and then come back to her at 3 a.m. in the morning as if nothing happened. Black women have been too forgiving. And this has left many of you all with the wrong impression. You see, here is part of the issue. Black women are no longer brainwashed into believing that we have to settle for a dude that looks like this and have a Black baby in order to keep the community together. Yes, there are 2 million more Black women than there are Black men in the U.S. That's true. However, what is also true is that there are 65 million more men on the planet than there are women. Some of them are walking up to the southern border by foot, waiting to fill the job vacancy, employment, and otherwise, so to speak. So, there are men who are already in the U.S. from different groups that also can fill that 2 million Black woman void many times over. Additionally, there are plenty of men flying into the U.S. from overseas on employment visas, on F1 visas to study at universities, and so forth. So many of you have the mindset that the supply of Black women is unlimited. And if this one doesn't work out, then you go to the next one, because that's how those of you would normally operate. However, here's where you messed up. You treated Black women like snacks, like little muffins. And while you were licking the icing off of one muffin and throwing it out, picking the chocolate chips out of another muffin and tossing it away, some of you were so savage. You would reach into the oven and dig out the teenage muffin before it was done baking, or growing up into becoming a grown woman before you would devour her. And then you would also toss her out. But what you didn't notice was the amount of Black women that were getting with the dudes that you called simps. You know, the ones that go to school, get an education, actually have a career and do something worthwhile with their lives, because you were too busy muffin hunting. Nothing else mattered to you. Then you didn't notice the trickling out of us Black women who date interracially, interculturally, interfaith, inter everything else, while you were too busy saying that the other flavors of muffins or women of other groups were better than us, the chocolate muffins or the Black women. So now the floodgates have opened in more ways than one. And the quote unquote average at best woman, the Black woman, has collectively moved on. So here's what it means for the majority of you. There are at least 4 of you for every Black woman who remained in the hood, who's still in the ghetto, that is living in Blackistan. The ones who may be willing to be in a relationship with you. And trust me when I say that her numbers are dropping drastically. let me tell you what you may already know, but like Jamichael Jones, you couldn't accept it until now. Many of you either lack the type of skills that are needed, or more than likely, you are unwilling to obtain the skills that are necessary for you to legitimately produce a high value income. I'm talking about a bare minimum of 6 figures, okay, so that you can properly take care of a family by yourself. Many of you have felonies, bad credit, you have child support payments that are through the roof. You can't even get into a viable licensed trade because of your criminal record. So here you are. Why not? Instead of throwing your life away like this dude, Jamichael Jones, just did, why not just go ahead and try polyandry? You're already doing it anyway. There are so many Black women of all backgrounds and all sizes who can attest that whenever she was with one of you and you dumped her, ghosted her, and didn't return her calls or answer her message, or you would go to prison, your homeboys would start making it known that they wanted to be next. They'll start shopping at the same grocery store on her side of town, or coincidentally, they would be at the gas station near her job, and so on. You know, some real stalkerish type stuff. Most Black women will say no to the homeboy that wants to come in after you. But it's usually your homeboy that keeps on just pushing and pushing and pushing. And then the next thing you know, your homeboy is blowing out her back. Mr. Jones didn't get the memo in time. So I'm just trying to help you out here in case nobody told you. You see, the days of taking one bite out of a Black woman's muffin and tossing it down is over. There are always plenty of men who will pick that muffin up, apply the 5-second rule, you know, they'll blow on it, dust it off, and they will devour it without shame. The Black woman is doing her tornado dance throughout the world right now. There are a few Black women who may still give you the time of day, regardless of your felonies. And no, I'm not one of them. I'm just giving you some insight. So, if you're about in your mid-30s and you're only making about 30 grand a year, you, 3 of your homeboys, cousins, or whomever you trust, along with a lady that you all like, can agree to polyandry. It's possible you all can coexist peacefully. The 4 of you together will hopefully be making 6 figures. The benefit is that, you'll know at least who she's with. And if you have a child with her, then you will know the character of the other men that she's being intimate with. And your salary combined with the other 3 dudes or relatives may just be enough for you all to live in decent accommodations with one another. Then, amongst yourselves, you can come up with a bed sharing routine. Maybe, you can have Monday evening until Tuesday afternoon, and then the next dude can get Tuesday evening through Wednesday afternoon, and so on and so forth. Then you all can discuss how to go about doing the weekends, I mean, it costs tax dollars to keep you locked up. And I just think that it's better to spend tax money on initiatives like affordable housing or adding more amenities to a park, as opposed to housing, clothing, and feeding you until it's time for you to take your dirt nap. Also, instead of your relatives having to spend their money to visit you in prison while waiting on your jail letters and putting money on your books, hey, you can be free to see one another regularly without bars. So try polyandry. It's a much more peaceful approach than what Michael Jones just did. I mean, you're doing it anyway, and it's cheaper than incarcerating you or paying for your funeral. So I'll be uploading new videos soon, so be sure to tune back in. Please be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and click the notifications bell. Until next time.